All right, let's get into it. We're looking at what seems like just a simple, kind of quirky Christmas poem on the surface, right? But trust me, it's packing this really deep story about being lonely, about how we see ourselves, and maybe most importantly, where we find a real connection when it feels like, well, like there's just none out there.
And boom, right from the very first line, you get this amazing, kind of funny but also really awkward picture. Think about it, mistletoe, right? That's all about romance, connection, maybe a little holiday kiss. And our guy, he's standing there in his wellies, his rain boots. It just screams something is off here. This is definitely not your feel-good Christmas card moment.
So, who is this guy in the wellies? Well, that's what we're here to figure out. We're going to follow his story in his own words and see how he goes from feeling totally alone to, well, to something a whole lot more interesting.
And man, he doesn't waste any time telling us how he sees himself. It's not just that he feels ignored. Nope. He's completely bought into this idea, this stereotype, that he's the guy with a swollen belly, the kind of guy he's sure no one wants to know. And that right there, that becomes the filter for how he sees everything.
Okay, so where does this all go down? At a party, of course. You know, the one place that's supposed to be all about connecting with people and having a good time. But for our narrator, it does the exact opposite. It's like a spotlight shining right on how alone he feels. And this isn't just some vague feeling, like, oh, nobody's talking to me. The poem gets brutally specific. No kiss, no present, not even a slice of cake. Think about it. Those are like the little social transactions of a party, and he gets shut out of every single one. It's no wonder he feels like even showing up was just a big mistake. Wow. I mean, this just lays it all out, doesn't it? It shows the massive gap between his world and everyone else's. On one side, you have people getting cuddles full of charm, and on his side, he can't even remember the last time a girl so much as touched his arm. That contrast it's just so sharp and so sad. And that feeling of being totally invisible, it doesn't just stay at the party, he takes it home with him. The silence in his house is just deafening, and that quiet telephone, man, it just reinforces that awful question he asks himself. So who cares where I am? It's so raw you can almost feel it. So yeah, it's a pretty bleak situation, right? It feels hopeless. But this is the moment the whole poem turns. When people let you down, when the whole world seems to reject you, where do you go? What do you do? The answer is what this whole story is really about. And that's when we meet Fred. Not a new friend, not a girlfriend, but a dog. And this is where everything changes. The story stops being about loneliness and starts being about a really special, really powerful friendship. This line is everything. It's the key. He doesn't say, my dog Fred is single. He says, I'm just like my dog Fred. He's not the owner looking down at a pet. He sees them as equals, as partners in crime. They're both single, they're in it together, and that's a super powerful connection. And then the poem basically lays out what real companionship looks like for him. It's not about big romantic gestures or being popular. It's way simpler. It's about just having someone there, having someone who listens. Fred gives him everything that party full of people couldn't: company, attention, and an audience that never, ever judges. I just love the honesty here. Pretending that we're both all right. It's like they had this unspoken deal, a quiet understanding between them. It's you and me against the world, buddy, and we'll just pretend we've got it all figured out. It's this beautiful little picture of them supporting each other. So now that Fred's in the picture, you start to hear a change in our narrator's voice. He starts, defending his life. He's building a case for why being alone is actually great. But you have to wonder, right? Is he really happy? Or is this just him putting on a brave face? Maybe with a little bit of sarcasm thrown in to hide the hurt. So he starts listing off all these perks of being single. He's saving money, he doesn't have to dance, no messy romance. And then you get the zinger about not having a mother-in-law. It really does feel like he's just running down a checklist of reasons to convince himself he's okay. It's a total defense mechanism. But, maybe there's a little bit of truth in there for him too. And this is where it all comes together. This is the ending. After feeling so rejected by everyone, he finds his own path, his own purpose. And it's not what you'd expect. I mean, listen to that. No need to pity me. That is so defiant. He's grabbing the pen and writing his own story now. And hey, maybe he's still trying to convince himself a little bit. We don't know for sure, but it doesn't matter. It's a huge moment of him saying, I am okay on my own terms.
And here's the final punch, his big, triumphant declaration. He's not just getting by, he's having a ball. And why? Because he's found his thing. He's a poet. And yeah, his audience might just be one furry, four-legged friend named Fred, but who cares? In that moment of creating something, he finds a kind of joy and a sense of purpose that he was never, ever going to find at that party.
So that's where it leaves us, with this really big question. The poem starts with this sad, lonely guy in Wellies under the mistletoe, and it ends with a happy artist who has the most loyal fan in the world. It really makes you think, doesn't it? What does it actually mean to be happy? Is it about ticking all the boxes that society says you should? Or is it about finding that one thing, that one person or dog that makes you feel like you have a purpose, even if it's just the two of you, pretending you're both all right?